Hey guys, it's Danny from Sparkhammer Minis, also known as dim.the.creative. You can check me out on Instagram. I've been working my Black Templars lately, and I really want to show how it is I get my black armor completed. So the first step is priming these minis. What I like to use is Rustoleum. Now, I know a lot of people like to use, Games Workshop and Army Painter. Personally, I find those to be a little expensive. So I got a few tips for people that are using other products just like this to get that working. Now, I got a lot of history with spray cans. I've done murals and all kinds of things on my off time. And now that I'm doing this, I feel like I could transition some of those tips to these. So the first thing I want to recommend is actually making sure you give these things a good shake. Now, that's obvious, right? But you're going to shake them for about 3 minutes. I know it says on the bottle maybe about a minute or so. Shake them about 3 minutes. I also let them sit in warm water. The reason why is because it makes the paint flow a little smoother. You'll get less clumps of spider webbing. And also, if the temperature is iffy outside, you won't get that paint drying in the air, attaching to the surface and having those weird adhesion bumps. So this is going to make it come out a little smoother. To begin, what I would suggest is getting the mini on your hand, spraying. And when you spray, don't spray straight directly on top of the mini. This isn't an airbrush, this is a bridle can. So what you want to do is kind of actually spray off to the side. Make sure it's spitting out, the paint correctly. And once you see that it's going good and it's flowing well, you're going to pass the mini. Don't leave the mini, being painted directly on there. You're going to kill the detail in no time. So just make sure you just kind of spray and pass, spray and pass, spray and pass, rotate it and get all the angles you want to. Even though you pass it and you're being very careful, it's not to say that it's not possible that you held it too long or you went too slowly and you just soaked the mini in complete and utter paint. So that's the first thing that I would say with bridle cans. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is create your highlights and sketch them out with what I like to use is Temple Guard. Now, sometimes we use Thunderhawk Blue. It depends on how I feel or what I'm trying to achieve. But for the most part, I really like this color Temple Guard. Now, you create the highlights where you believe the light's gonna hit. To make this a little easier, I like to get the photo of my miniature under a light. You could kind of get an idea where the main spots of light are going. Now, because this is a Black Templar, I don't want to go crazy because it's going to stop looking black and it's going to start looking like blue armor. So you definitely want to be very careful on how you apply these. Also, when you're doing these things, you have to consider a little bit of, over exaggeration. Because it's miniature painting, not everything has to be exactly realistic because it's not going to look as nice. Here I'm applying the Temple Guard Blue. I'm making the highlights very thick and making sure I'm getting a lot of the edge highlighting in the brightest points with this color. So now we got the Incubi Darkness. We're going to use this Incubi Darkness to blend the darkest tone, which is black, to that Temple Guard. Going back and forth, thinning the paint so that it's almost at a glaze consistency, feathering until we get a pretty smooth transition between those colors. So here I am reinforcing some of that Temple Guardian. And also, what I want you guys to notice is that I make those highlights, those initial highlights, really thick because that Incubi Darkness is gonna eat away some of that blue highlight that you created initially. So here I go, reinforcing some of that Temple Guard. So one thing I want to let you guys know is you're going to end up going back and forth between the Temple Guard and the Incubi Darkness pretty significantly. You're going to thin down both colors. You're going to go back and forth, just trying to get that transition as smoothly as possible. So at this part, I realized the footage was all blurry and you wouldn't be able to see much of what I was doing. So I retook it with a new Space Marine. With this Space Marine, this is the final step, was creating the highest highlight with the Ulthuan Grey. Now, I apply this real thin. It's at a real thin glaze consistency, so it barely writes. And that's exactly what I want. I want it to be a little translucent on top of that Temple Guard. So this is how the Black Templar looks once completed with the following steps that I put on this video. So that's the process I use to create that cool black armor on my Black Templars. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I hope this helps some of you guys out. Maybe it makes you get inspired to paint bravely. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at sparkhammer_minis, and also feel free to subscribe here on our page. Much love, keep painting, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.